welcome everyone, and you can see in the local chat, I'm welcoming you to the ACRL Virtual Worlds Interest Group meeting for this month. We meet once a month right here at the VWIG Fireside Deck, and it's on the third Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time. I'll put a little information about the group here in local chat so that you can see that this is part of the American Library Association, and our goal is to help people explore virtual environments for education. I'm the current convener of the ACRL Virtual Worlds Interest Group. That stands for the Association of College and Research Libraries. I'll zoom in on that sign. And if you want more details, you can contact me or Sue Moon Magic. Today our tour is going to be to the International Spaceflight Museum in Second Life. So let me put this in local chat. We're going to teleport to ISM, and the location is on the sign right behind me, the great big sign, and you'll see where it says click to teleport. Then you simply click teleport and I will meet you there. All right, so Julia right here is going to explain. She says, hello everyone. You can see more people are arriving here for our tour of the International Spaceflight Museum in Second Life. Julia is explaining a little setup with the viewers. Sometimes you can change your settings for particular lighting or for a shared experience. She says to please set your draw distance to 500. It's in the graphics menu. So I'm going to go to my menu and I'm going to go to preferences and I'm going to look for graphics. Okay, so far I found it. Set your draw distance to 500. Here's draw distance right here, and I've got mine a little high. I'll go down to 500. Okay, and then in world menu, use shared environment. I go to world and I look for shared environment, okay? So I'll say okay to that. There's my draw distance, world. Environment, use shared environment. Okay, it can be higher, she said, as long as it's at least 500. So I'm going to go back to my graphics because I'd like it as high as possible for my video. So here's draw. I'm going to move it up. Save. Okay. Now you see my lighting has changed just a little bit using this shared environment. She says, let us know when done. This is our sandbox, and up here they create a lot of displays. You can see there's some space equipment over here, some Land Rovers, rockets. This is where they sort of up in the sky have a sandbox to play around with building and just put all of their objects. I see some rotating displays, and I see a little platform out there, and I see a sign about the observation deck. The observation deck will provide you with an excellent view of both spaceports Alpha and Bravo. However, you need to edit your draw distance, so it tells it right here. And this one says Spaceport Bravo Teleport Directory. And you can go to all of these 5 different locations. Now, Julia says, follow me, please. And we're going to walk with Julia out onto the spaceport platform. Julia says, this is a massive display. The one behind me has almost 1,700 scripted objects alone. That's a lot of scripted objects. Julia says, I'll stop at points so you can take it all in. The sim also goes up, so if you look up, you'll see lots of planetary displays and the ISS space station. right, we're following Julia out onto the platform. Oh wow, you can look down below. Look at this. Wow, I'm standing way up in the sky above the International Spaceflight Museum in Second Life. She says, come right up to the front, please. So here we are, standing on the platform, way up in the sky. Look at all the rockets over here. The history of spaceflight. With only a couple of exceptions due to Second Life limitations, all the rockets are full-sized. So they are designed to be at scale. I think you may recognize SpaceX Starship launching. That's almost 400 feet tall. Now I can also change my environment just for a moment to show you nighttime. I'll leave it on shared for now. The blue exhaust is because the fuel is methane. The pulses are supersonic shock waves. And you can see at midday, you see the blue. Exhaust coming out of the rocket. The script to do that was done in ChatGPT 4. Julia says, I cheated. Some great uses of AI, scripting and things like that. I'll go back and show you that the blue really shows up well when you go to nighttime. Zoom back into where Julia is. And I'll keep going to change my lighting just so that people watching this realize you have control of your lighting depending on how you want to view the environment. Julia says, below is the first sim done in 2006 and on with all the moon and space shuttle displays. The one in front of us is done much later. This is a museum, a lot of old with a lot of new too. It's been evolving and expanding. We keep just about everything. Someone's asking about a recording, and we are recording this for later. Shiloh's asking what the biggest challenge was in building these rockets. Julia says the sim on the left was done by JSL NASA and is not one of ours. It has a lot of Mars rover displays, etc. You see, I just went inside a planet there. It is also worth a visit. You can see here some of the Mars. The Mars mission. Julia says that we're waiting for Second Life to change its graphics engine and graphics environment to do much in the way of major development. Also with AI, we can now build outside items. Importing them into Second Life is a challenge. But we already use AI for some things. You can see a meeting space here. I think it's decorated for Halloween. Where presentations can be done on spaceflight related topics. Oh, here's decorated for Halloween too. I need to see that at night. Look at the Halloween build. We're in the month of October, so they've decorated the rocket for Halloween. Super fun. Julia says it takes a full day to tour all of this. So this is a cram course. The International Spaceflight Museum Sims are privately funded via donations as well. We have no links to any of the outside space organizations. I continue to change my environment just to show the variety of how you can view the virtual world content. This is the shared environment. Julia says some of us are real-world scientists. Some, like myself, have clients and relations with real-world science companies. And she is Canadian. We do things like the Canada Arms, etc. And Rosa says our members are around the world. Plural worlds, meaning also in other metaverse platforms beyond Second Life. For example, at the Kitely grid, there's a Mars base. We had a Brazilian that has an analog Mars base, like a Consultor 2. So ISM is in Kitely, and there's a lot of Mars content there in Kitely. So subject experts in spaceflight and rocket science have contributed to this metaverse experience. A great opportunity for students to see the history of spaceflight and how rockets have evolved in a virtual environment, something that they could not do in a physical environment. Zooming in on some of the many, many rockets that are on display here from around the world. Here we had a Japanese that made all the teleport boards, and as Rosa says, we also have external sims in other worlds beyond Second Life. Virtual worlds are everywhere, and we build where we can. We all realize the metaverse is expanding. So on top of this building is the observation deck where our tour is taking place. But in Second Life, you can camera around and view whatever you want to view and zoom in on it up close. I'll zoom in on our tour guide, Julia. The best developed ISM space in terms of technology at present is in Second Life. Julia says our next stop is directly below us. You can either jump or teleport. She wants me to hand out our landmark, and it's called Spaceport Bravo 2. So let me just grab it. Spaceport Bravo 2. And I will hand it out. So I say share near me, and I give it to all. And I'm going to jump just for the fun of it. So you on camera, I could click that teleporter right there, Spaceport Bravo, but watch. If I just stand up, if I just fly up a tiny bit and turn this way, now watch, I'm outside the platform. There I am. Now I'm just going to stop flying and fall down below. Yikes. Here I go. I made it. Okay. You can jump, you can fly. Now if I had used the landmark, let me see if I'm at the same landing spot. Pretty close. And now we'll see if Julia tells us what to do down here on the ground. Okay. I'll go back to shared environment just to compare our view here and see if this is a good view. All right, we can use our camera to pan up, around, look up in the sky. Okay, you can see there's the view upwards and the view all around us. You may recognize some of the rockets, space shuttle, various lunar module, Apollo, and various other equipment, with a lot of the information about the history of each one of these objects. So rather than reading a book and looking at pictures, you're actually being able to go in 3D, and in many of these things you can actually get inside. There's Apollo 11, Command Service Module. Julia says, here are some of our earlier displays. Ellie says she brings her students here and they are blown away. Great opportunity for students to interact with space, rockets, and objects rather than, as I said, simply see a picture in a book. And Julia says we won't explore too much in this area, but the building itself contains a store and some offices. You can see the sign for the International Spaceflight Museum gift shop. And you follow the red line to go inside the gift shop. And here's the space shuttle. You can click on it. Many of the objects are interactive. Let's walk over and take a look. We'll follow Julia this way. Space Shuttle Atlantis. Oh, she's standing right up on it. You can come over and take a look inside, and I'm going to try another lighting just to see what looks the best on our video. Let's try, oh, that's a little dark. There, midday. Look inside. You can see the scale. And the shape, the flags. And you can see the avatars flying up to get better views. And now it's closing. She calls it a tourist trap. Rosa is giving a link in Wikipedia to the space shuttle. And Julia says we'll do more with the shuttle later. You can see that students need to get a little comfortable with walking and moving about in order to take a tour like this. Julia asks, ready for a walk? Yes, I'll reply. Stay close, please. We don't want to get lost in space. So we'll follow Julia. Right underneath the space shuttle. You can see we've walked over right inside the ring of all of these rockets, and we're standing inside the ring. We want to make sure we didn't lose anyone on our tour. It takes a little while for people in a virtual world to learn the interface, learn how to zoom your camera around on the different objects, how to interact with them, click on them, how to move your avatar. But students today that are growing up with virtual worlds and expanding technology get comfortable fairly quickly. We lost one person who was traveling and sent a message earlier. And sometimes if someone is lost, you can find their name and you can offer them a teleport. Offer teleport. You can see they have an information board here. International Spaceflight Museum, Spaceport Alpha, and here are 17 different things to visit right here at Spaceport Alpha. From Rocket Ring, Russian Envy, Ares 5, Gemini rocket ride, much more. This is our presentation area. We do talks here. You can see all the seats. Fairly often, plus every Thursday at 3 p.m. for Tea and Rockets. Tea and Rockets sounds kind of fun. General topic on all things space. Looks like they've even got refreshments for tea and rockets. Under us is a lift platform with a full stage setup for events, dances, music, etc. And that may be underground. I'm not sure. I can look and see here. Sometimes you're allowed to go under with your camera. Just look. It just looks like I'm underwater. Maybe hiding down here somewhere. And then that can be pulled up as needed. Julia says, I don't have time to show you, but it's fun. Comes with new skies as well. Look behind you at SpaceX Heavy. You can see some of the rockets behind us. I see SpaceX. Some of the projectors that Julia used to put in, she put a bit of Halloween fun on them, which I showed you on camera earlier with a nighttime sky. Here it is. Halloween fun on a rocket. That must be SpaceX Heavy because I see SpaceX Halloween. The screen, if you were to turn it on, is a live NASA channel. So we are linked here to real world information. I'll turn this to nighttime again, just for fun, to see the nighttime Halloween decor on SpaceX. And here's some here as well. Now we'll follow Julia. Don't want to get lost. Follow her this way. I'll turn our light back to shared. This display is old. We are looking for a graphics person to update them. If you know one, please have them contact Julia Pentulia in Second Life. This is a very collaborative project. Many people have worked together to build this. We've done a lot of work since this was done. And for librarians at the ACRL Virtual Worlds Interest Group, this is an important subject, the archival of virtual world content. Most content today is born digital, and we need to understand how to preserve and archive interactive objects in 3D. Again, pan up and around as we will be leaving Earth shortly. Looking up and looking around. We're about to take off. The pink rockets, Julia added. We needed a little Barbie here, she says. She says, we hit all the Kens today. I'm just turning around to see the avatars on tour. And here we go. We'll follow Julia. See some books here on the table. And some links to various other spaces. Here's a laptop to send comments to the museum. And a trivia challenge game. And we'll follow again. And you can see all the flags here. This is quite a global project that covers spaceflight from around the world and the accomplishments that have been made. And here's a quote from Konstantin Tsiolkovsky. Earth is the cradle of humanity, but one cannot live in a cradle forever. People can make donations here to help keep this space going and sustainable in the future. Julia says behind me is a SpaceX display. with a booster on an orange barge. It is not full size for a reason. Oh, an ocean barge. Sorry, not orange. There's that ocean barge. The rocket to the far right launches and the booster lands there. It's fun to watch it come down, tail first, rockets, engines blasting. But Linden Lab limitations means we can't link objects for flight that are too big. That's a limitation that they may be reducing soon. And that would certainly help with projects like this. Both the shuttle and the SpaceX Dragon are flyable. If you click on them, you will be sent up to the International Space Station. That is where we're going. We're going to get to take flight. Each will take 4 at a time. I'll wait and let someone else go since I'm recording, and I'll try to get a picture of it. So you can see that students can actually go up in space virtually. A tip, the fly back is best on the shuttle. So Julia will explain to us how to be an astronaut. So fly back on the shuttle unless you like getting dumped into the ocean via parachute on return. That sounds fun too. Julia says, I will go first. Please watch. I'll take the dragon up, and then you all can follow. So let's see what Julia does. Oh, someone already went up. That's okay. Let's see if I can see where she's flying. I'll zoom out. And I'll look up. Pull back a little in case we see something happening in the sky. She says, cam out a bit to see. Okay. Ah, there we go. Here it goes. SpaceX has lifted. Whoa, it's separated. Something's going down quickly. There it comes, back down, 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 down. And landed. Now, if that was Ellie, I can zoom in on her and see. She's still up here. What? She made it. Ellie has gone up to the space station. And she's walking around the space station. And you can see that this can be done alone or in a group. Many ways to learn here. She made it, flying in space, solo. Now we'll see what Julia is telling us. And we'll see who's next. Okay, Julia says, I cheated and fired up the escape pod. There's so much to learn and do here. It makes you want to come back on your own and explore and try the various rocket ship experiences. I'll see if Ellie's still exploring. She may be waiting for some of us to join her way up here on the space station. Look at that. I'll pull out so you can see it. Look, we're way up above planet Earth in space. Okay. Okay, so she says, everyone pick your rocket and go. If you hurry, you can join someone. They take 4 at a time. So let's see. Okay, let's follow Julia. It says right there, ride rocket to outer space. See, there's a warning here. Don't use it if you have a fear of small spaces, vacuums, or exploding. Okay. You can set nighttime brightness, should you want to, and then you right-click on a rocket and choose board. going to say, I am going. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just going to go on up here and see. Is this one ready for me? Touch. I want to sit in the crew 1. And I want to fly. Oh, SpaceX Dragon or Starship. I'm going to try. Countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. I have taken off into space. I think I'm heading towards the space station. See if I can see myself inside. Where am I? Where am I? I'm inside. I'll just pull out to cam so you can see the rocket as it's going up towards the space station. There we are. Trying to get my camera inside to see, but it's a little tricky to do that. Oh, there I am. I'm inside the rocket. And then it says, preparing for return. Please wait a few seconds. Julia said you can take the shuttle back. That's one way. So there's a lot to explore and discover, and I'm fairly new. So I'll just see how I can figure this out. Oh, look, it's docking. I am docked. Here I am. And I think it says control system was ready. So let's see if I can click to do the space shuttle back. Oh, I'm standing right here. I better walk over and see if I can board a space station. I do not want to get left up here in space. So, let's see. Preparing for return. Please wait a few seconds. Ah, here comes someone else. I'm not alone up here in space. The others are coming. All right, I can ask a question of Julia. How to get back to Earth? There's the shuttle. Click on the shuttle again. Okay. I want to be a crew member. I don't think I'm up yet to flying it solo. Am I on it? I'm on it. I'm going back on the shuttle. good. The safety hatches are closing. I don't want to fall out. And back down to Earth. Here we are in space. You can see the space, and then turning from the space station down through the atmosphere. Wow, look at that when you're going through space. I see the space shuttle circling, going down. All right, it looks like we're wrapping up. So Ellie is teleporting me back. So I will click on teleport. Wow, that was amazing. Julia says, lots of work pending up here too. So much going on in space. So we're ending up here at the space station to wrap up our tour. This was a great tour. Thank you so much, Julia Pentulia. Awesome. All right. I'll zoom out to see that we're on the space station up above Earth, and we made it. And there's some planets, and there's so much to learn in virtual worlds. So we'll end our tour right here. Thank you all.